Did human beings really evolve from monkeys? If that's true, why are they still monkeys? Or is there a missing link that we don't know of? These are the kind of questions that irk the protagonist of tonight's story, who seems to have a long forgotten friendship with our fellow primates, as he searches to find his place and ultimately return to where he believes he came from. Namaskaram, listeners. Nishta Jeeva here, and this time I bring a classic from celebrated Indian filmmaker and all-round storyteller Satyajitray, who, like all celebrated creative visionaries, anticipates beforehand questions that bother our current age. Do stay on after the story as we bring to you a special surprise that celebrates our current stage in nature. Originally titled MRIGANKOBABUR GHOTONA, or I'd like to call it Mriganko Returns to Monke. MRIGANKOBABUR GHOTONA, The Case of Mriganko Babu by Satyajitray, translated from Bengali by Divyendu. Mriganko Babu first got to know about the evolution of man from monkeys from his longtime colleague Salil Basak. Maybe it is a widely known fact, but Mriganko Babu was not particularly a well-read person. He was an average student in school and never took to the habit of reading books. This piece of information took his colleague by surprise. To this, Salil Babu added, "Yes, millions of years ago, there was a class of quadruped monkeys. The monkeys have remained as a species, but the one from whom humans have evolved have become extinct." Both Mriganko Babu and Salil Babu work at the Hardinge Company, each working for 22 and 15 years, respectively. Though Mriganko is not one of the affable characters, a natural friendship has grown up due to years of proximity with an office. The piece of information made an effect in Mriganko Babu's mind, who took to searching for relevant books on the matter, in shops and in College Street. Salil was not wrong, he thought. All the printed text hinted that man certainly came down from monkeys, and zoologists are keenly searching the transition that took place between these two animals. There is a missing link between these two sets, and it is yet to be discovered. To further quench his curiosity, he visited the National Museum, where he saw the skeletal remains of the primates, only to observe the remarkable similarity with present day humans. A visit to the zoological garden helped him understand the tailed monkey and the without tail ape and their various classes. Added to this are the African gorilla, chimpanzee, baboon, orangutan, and caveman, etc., which all seemed relevant in relation to man. Among all of them, the African chimpanzee seemed to bear the most familiarity with man. And not just that, a single chimpanzee seemed to have caught the fancy of Mriganko Babu a lot. It made facial gestures and grinned with his teeth wide and approached a number of times. When Mriganko Babu was close to its cage, it looked as if the animal knew him for a long time. While returning home after spending an hour or so at the zoological garden, Mriganko Babu was suddenly reminded of his uncle Kalu Mama when he came visiting many years ago. Mriganko Babu was referred as Morkot or monkey by Kalu Mama, often endearingly. Mriganko Babu asked on one day, "Why do you call me thus?" Kalu Mama responded quickly,
Don't you understand that you look like one? See yourself in the mirror at once. Such narrow forehead, beady eyes, gaping space between the nose and the lips. Oh, what else would people call you if not a monkey? The M emblazoned on the ring of your finger is not for Mriganko, but for Morkot or monkey. You don't really need to find a job, There's always one awaiting for you at the zoo.
Mriganko Babu had taken a hard look at himself in the mirror and thought that probably Kalu Mama was not wrong after all. Even in school, his teacher, Mahesh sir, used to tease him by calling him a monkey, at an age of 12 or 13. Such a thought that he bears a resemblance to monkeys did not strike at such an early age. Not just his facial features, even the hunch on his back and the excess of body hair growth seemed to bring him closer to monkeys. This reminded him of Salil, and he seemed to think of himself as somewhat to fill the gap between humans and monkeys. This made Mriganko Babu think, probably the evolution is not yet complete within me. But then he thought, do monkeys sit at a desk and type like I do? The resemblance is purely accidental, he thought. Even Suresh Babu of Accounts Department resembles a slimy rat. Mriganko Babu is a man, a human being, and there can be no further doubt about it. Amidst this, he was also reminded that he loves eating bananas and peanuts, either of which he devours daily while returning from office. These two are favorites of monkeys as well. He was reminded of a Bengali poem involving monkeys and bananas and the like. Is this connection arbitrary? Mriganko Babu forcefully removed the idea from his head. However he may think, it was difficult to completely dissociate himself from the idea of humans evolving from monkeys. Such distractions led him make typing mistakes, and he was called forth by his superior at his office. What has happened to you? You were never wrong in typing, were you? Why is it so these days? His superior asked. How could he have responded? Mriganko Babu said, I was keeping in ill health for a few days. Then consult a doctor. We have one at our office itself. Ask Dr. Gupta. No, sir. I don't think that's necessary. I give you my word. Do excuse my lapses, sir. His superior paid heed to his apologies, but Mriganko Babu was not satisfied with it at all. He visited Dr. Gupta and asked, do prescribe me some medicines. I'm lacking concentration these days and it is affecting my work. Dr. Gupta took a good look at him and said, your health seems to be failing. You have lost weight and there are dark circles beneath your eyes. Only medicine won't work. What about taking a few days leave? Yes, in fact, I have not applied for any leave in the last 2 years. Then take leave for 7 days. You need a change of weather. I'm prescribing a medicine, but that alone won't help. Mriganko Babu took a leave for 10 days and decided to visit his cousin in Kashi. His cousin stays near to the 64 Ghats along the banks of Ganga. He has often requested his uncle Mriganko Babu to visit him, but the chance has never come till now. What Mriganko Babu did not know was that Kashi was infested with monkeys. They were in rows and river banks, terraces and tree branches, and even on walls of the temples. When asked about them, his cousin Neelratan said, you have not seen monkeys. Let's visit Durgabadi and you'll understand how infested the place is. On reaching Durgabadi, he was astounded. On entering the courtyard, a group of 50-60 monkeys surrounded him. Their cacophony was too loud for anything else. It amazed him to find that he was not feeling out of place being amid such a company, as if he has known all of them for long. It seemed as if he is visiting relatives after a long time. Mriganko Babu visited Durgabadi 3 days after visiting Kashi. From the 5th day onward, he felt that he was having difficulties in speaking. He often has to take resort to remember common words. Neelratan proposed, let's go for a kirtan at Dasashwamedh Ghat this evening. I'll fetch you in the evening when I'm back from work. The word kirtan seemed foreign to Mriganko Babu. He asked, where are you asking us to visit? To the Dasashwamedh Ghat. Won't you visit? Dasashwamedh Ghat? What? Why? What's that? Like I said, there's kirtan today. You'd love it. Don't you take a liking to kirtan? Oh, kirtan. So those who would be performing are humans, right? Yeah. Who else would perform? Would the monkeys do it, Mriganko? Yes. Today's humans were at one point monkeys, weren't they? No joke, Mriganko. You're talking silly. I'm off to office. I'll come and pick you up at 5:30. While at the Kirtan, Mriganko Babu felt something fantastic. He felt as if a group of monkeys were playing the drums and singing song. It was an unnatural experience for him. While returning from the Kirtan, Neelrathan said that he needed to visit Madha Babu at the Bengali Tola. Once he left, Mriganko Babu felt the urge to walk like a monkey. On the floor beside his bed, Mriganko Babu squatted on his hands and walked on his four limbs and took rounds across the floor space. After 4 rounds across the room, he finally saw Neelrathan's servant, Ramlal, staring in amazement from the doorstep. Mriganko Babu stood up and accosted. Have you never seen a monkey in Kashi? What's there to be so amazed about? Ramlal spoke no more and started preparing bed. In his remaining days at Kashi, Mriganko Babu spoke very less. Neelrathan inquired, What happened, Mriganko? Why did you turn so silent? Is your health fine? Mriganko Babu replied, No, why? Health is fine. Actually, men have come down from monkeys. Isn't the reverse? Monkeys turning from men? The reverse of evolution? Neelrathan was surprised but remained silent. Is Mrigankoda's mental health stable? Would it not be good to have a clinical checkup of Mrigankoda? Mriganko Babu returned to Kolkata in 2 days' time. Upon entering his house on Hazra Lane, he met his old servant, Dashrathi, who asked him, You returned. How are you doing? Mriganko replied. Dashrathi laughed uproariously. There's a lot of monkeys in Kashi, isn't it? I've been there once in my childhood. Mriganko Babu replied. 4 days after this incident, all newspapers in Kolkata carried the following news. One of the employees in the zoo discovered a monkey-like animal lying near the chimpanzee's cage on one morning. Probably it had broken into the compound the earlier night. The superintendent stated that such a species of monkey has never been sighted before. Like the crossbreeding of the horse and the donkey leads to mule, similarly the inbreeding of 2 species of monkeys have led to such an animal. The animal is alive and is making sounds like the monkey. The most striking feature is the presence of a ring on the finger of the animal, which bears the English letter M